go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now Roethlisberger. Green's got it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Timmy Jernigan, play him over the nose, play him a defensive tackle, bounce him out to defensive end. Wherever you want to put him, Timmy Jernigan can play.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it's caught over the middle by the tight end, Green. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records. I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Work out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down. I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer. He just... Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. 4th down, here's Roethlisberger. And James has it. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. Give him 14 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Again, it's Bell. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
On the counter, here's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Offense has been out there a while. This is their 14th play in this series. They'll go again with Bell. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. Now 4th down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on 4th. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
Roethlisberger keeps it. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, that's tough right there. Asking your quarterback to get you 2 yards on a sneak. As it turns out, he gets them no yards instead.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Let's go.
2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try and run it in with Bell. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. So they were stuffed on 1st down, stuffed again on 2nd.
And normally you throw the ball on 2nd down on play action, so here on 3rd down, I'm going to my team and saying, let's line up and let's go out and get it. I get my best running play called, and I go after them one more time.
So they held him out on second down, and now here's 3rd and goal. Big Ben going to take it himself. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of it?
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll try and throw for it. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Now Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Boswell's kick is good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
4 yards remaining now on second down.
Defense showing blitz.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Going up top. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. 44 yards.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
They'll pitch it out to Bell. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Fourth down, here's Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Then Steve Smith hauls it in. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco surveying the field. Now he's flushed out left. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that penalty will wipe out a big gain by the offense. Five wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Now it's Flacco. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Tucker now to add the point after. And that makes it 14-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Needed 13, and with a good spot, they got 13 and a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Roethlisberger will throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come up in an offset eye. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And this seemingly endless drive continues.
On third down, Roethlisberger. That's complete right around the 8. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hit.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter.
So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do, because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win, and you may need that challenge flag for later in the game.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Roethlisberger keeps it. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And they'll give it to him here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll try again with Bell. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Xavier Grimble, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try. Now, that's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Roethlisberger going to throw it. Out left side here to Bryant. 20, 10, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Flacco's Ravens. With that, let's get you on up to Baltimore as we welcome in our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. Stephen Hauschka now about set to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And the kickoff sails out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty.
You can see the looks on the faces of the rest of the team. You have one job to do. Just kick the ball and play.
Well, that's exactly right, Charles. The kicker, this is just inexcusable.
Absolutely inexcusable. Everyone out there slugging it out for the entire game. Execute your job.
Wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Flacco. It's caught. Kamar Aiken. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. That partner, nice little connection there on the corner route.
The receiver set it up perfectly, worked his way inside, and then broke it back to the outside for the completion.
First and 10 here for Flacco. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Earl Thomas, a defensive guy that can make things happen.
Arguably the best center fielder in the game today. He patrols the middle of the field with speed and with fury.
And they will not even get to the line here as we'll get a delay.